This is the deal. You're going somewhere very bad.
Whoa!
Do something that'll get you killed.
Let's go save the world.
Suicide Squad is the 2016 film that came out in August and is the third film in the DC Expanded Universe. And it's about these group of villains who are sent to take down these bigger and badder villains so that they can get time off their prison time. And you have all these different villains and people. You have Harley Quinn, you have Deadshot, you have Croc, you have Boomerang, Captain Boomerang, and all these people. And it's funny and it's good in that way, and it's also really bad at the same time. First off, the cast is great. The performances are wonderful. Will Smith as Deadshot is gold and brings his Will Smithisms and his charisma into this role. Harley Quinn is also really good and plays this very like maniacal person, but at the same time there is a bit of heart in that character. The rest of the cast also does a good job. Jared Leto as the Joker is actually pretty good. I like him. He's got a more classy style than Heath Ledger, and also his scenes are pretty good. And it's a shame that they didn't do that much with the Joker as much, because it did feel like that they were using the Joker as a centerpiece, especially in the beginning of the film, that he just doesn't show up. I'll get to more about that later. The comedy hits really well. I sat in a nearly packed house and we were just laughing all the time. And yeah, it's a funny movie. There's cameos. Obviously, there's cameos by Batman and also some other characters in from the DC universe, from Justice League and so on. And they're done really well. And it's actually really good. The beginning of the film has a lot of it's very like exposition heavy. It's like, here's this member of the Suicide Squad. Let's explore his backstory for 30 seconds. Next guy with like interesting graphics and like a status report and stuff. And although it's like it's also like, yeah, if you want to get rid of the exposition, just dump it and move on. So I didn't have that big of a problem with that. But the thing is, despite the fact that there is enjoyment to be found in this movie, there is a lot of problems with this movie. There's a report that comes out. There was a report that came out that there were 2 edits to Suicide Squad. One with the more fun tone, which is what we got, and the one that was originally David Ayer's version. You do see that, and it's definitely more funnish, which is why the positives are, and maybe that's why they went with it. But at the same time, there are problems, including editing. The editing is sometimes really bad, because you feel like, like a regular scene is like a parabola, and you have a scene where it's like, you set up the scene, you set up what the scene is going to be, and then you reach the climax. If it's like an action scene, you defeat the bad guy or defeat the henchman around you. If it's a drama, it's a reveal. In action scenes, it's like you slow down, you realize what's going on, and then you move on. It's a quicker downward spiral. If it's a drama, then it's very slow, because you have to process the you have to process the moment. You have to process what the characters have just been revealed. But in any case, whatever scene it is, it just goes like, and you feel it. You feel like the scene should have gone for another 30 seconds, 45 minutes, a minute, couple of minutes. But it just feels like, okay, chop, 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 chop. The editing is terrible. It's terrible. The villain is also terrible. It's not going to spoil it because they didn't show that much in the trailers, but it's just like, first off, why these villains? B, it's cliche, and their plot, and this is not that surprising, is to destroy the world. Seen there, been there, done that. And speaking of seen there, been there, done that, this is a clear pandering to Guardians of the Galaxy, because they're trying to, like, make us care for a bunch of misfits, which is fine. But then they put so many songs because they're like, oh, we think songs are cool. We put modern pop songs in there. And then guess what they put? They put Spirit in the Sky, which although was not in Guardians of the Galaxy, was in the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. And was also in the soundtrack. And that is just so blatantly like, okay, you are not even being subtle. You're saying this is DC's version of Guardians of the Galaxy, not being subtle about it. And not only that, the structure of the movie is pretty much the same. These people don't get along, and then they get along. And it's just like, we see that. Guardians of the Galaxy was good because it took a formula and kind of turned it on its head and made fun of itself also. This one doesn't do it correctly. It just does a copy and paste of Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's just bad. And oh my goodness, I wish the Joker was in this movie more. I wish there was more banter because that's the good stuff. And it's a movie that's a crowd pleaser. You will enjoy it, especially if you're with a crowd. In that way, I do recommend watching it. But as a movie, it is not a good movie. So you balance it between bad objective filmmaking and editing compared to comedy and laughs, with good comedy and laughs. I am torn between what I feel like I should give it based on enjoyment versus what I should give it based on objectiveness. But I will go with my heart. This is a passing grade, despite how bad it is. It's a 6 out of 10 because it is enjoyable at the end of the day. But it's disappointing. DC has not made a good/great movie. And I don't think they have that huge of a shot. So Wonder Woman is next. Maybe it'll be good. But yeah. So Suicide Squad, have you seen it? I think most of you who watch it would have seen it because it's making $140 million. But let me know what you think about it. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next review.